7-part series, Judged by the Ten Commandments, God's Final Verdict in Revelation. Episode 1, The Ark is Opened, God's Law Still Stands. Key verse, Revelation 11:19. Main point. The Ark of the Covenant in heaven proves that God's 10 Commandments remain the standard of judgment. If God's law was nailed to the cross, why is it still in his heavenly temple during the end-time judgment? The opening of the heavenly temple reveals the Ark, symbolizing that the 10 Commandments are not abolished. They are the foundation of God's throne and the measure of all judgment. Episode 2, War on the Remnant. The Commandment Keepers. Key verse, Revelation 12:17. Main point. Satan's final attack is against those who obey the 10 Commandments and have the faith of Jesus. Why is Satan enraged with commandment keepers? Because their obedience exposes his rebellion. In the last days, obedience to God's law becomes the dividing line between the true remnant and the deceived world. Episode 3, The Beast vs. the Law. A Clash of Worship. Key verse, Revelation 13. Main point. The mark of the beast is a counterfeit system of worship that opposes God's commandments, especially the Sabbath. If the mark of the beast is about worship, whose law defines true worship? The final conflict centers on worship, obedience to God's commandments or submission to man's traditions. Episode 4, The Patience of the Saints, Commandments and Christ. Key verse, Revelation 14:12. Main point. God's faithful are identified as those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. When the world caves to compromise, will you stand with the saints or fall with the beast? Obedience to God's 10 Commandments is not legalism. It's the fruit of genuine faith in Christ. Episode 5, The 7 Last Plagues, Judged by the Law. Key verse, Revelation 16. Main point. The wicked receive God's wrath for choosing rebellion over obedience. The same law that protects the righteous will punish the disobedient. Which side are you on? The plagues fall on those who reject God's law, proving his judgment is righteous and just. Episode 6. The judgment is set. The books are opened. Key verses, Revelation 20:12-15. In the final judgment, people are judged by what's written in the books. God's law is the standard. If sin is breaking God's law, what excuse will you give when the books reveal your life? The books of heaven record every decision. Only those covered by Christ's righteousness and walking in obedience will be saved. Episode 7. Blessed are they. The commandment keepers enter the city. Key verse, Revelation 22:14. Main point. Only those who do God's commandments may enter the New Jerusalem. Heaven has gates, but do you have the key? The 10 Commandments are the test. God's holy city is for those who reflect his holiness. The law doesn't save, but it reveals who's saved.